Okay, Thursday's wrap up. Some really good calls this morning, and I'm just going to keep saying this like a broken record. I make my money in the mornings, okay, from overnight imbalances, overnight news. That's where you get the opening. I don't want to say chaos, maybe controlled chaos, but that's where you get your initial reactions and the initial reactions to fade, or really strong reactions to fade the first pullback and go long. You understand. That's where I make my money. The afternoons, to me, I've just never been an afternoon trader. And so I'm really, as you've noticed, especially in the summer, shying away from them. I only made one call this afternoon and it failed me. And I gave some money back from this morning, albeit not much, but still. Anyway, GameStop was on watch because of the gap up, GME. Now, Big Ideas, one of our all-stars, posted GME 4013. Actually, I think he put over 4012, which makes it 4013. These are, excuse me, these are 2-minute candles. The high of this one is 40.01. You can see it starts to sneak up here. 40.10, so 40.12 is the entry. As I always show you in these videos, if he doesn't post a stop, you just go below the most previous, the previous candle's low. In this case, I'm using 2s because 2s are pretty much what the setup was on. So we'll call it 39.75 stop on a 40.13 entry. So I believe that's 38 cents risk. And that was a great call by Big. He does it again, and it ended up closing fairly close to the high of the day, but it went to 41.37. So well over $1. And a great call by Big. These are in no particular order, by the way. B-Turk called Finisar, couldn't have been any better. FNSR, I'll have to go to 2s and show you this one. He called it at 15.23, which literally was the low right there with a dime stop. And from 15.23, this made it to 16.37. So over $1 there on a dime risk, and literally that was the low of the day. I don't even know how he did that, but what a great call by B-Turk. Osman K, totally worth the microphone. I bought him. Love having him in there, and he's using the mic religiously. He called LINE at 33.10, 25 cents risk. So what happened? You had a pullback, comes out right at the high of the day. It does that little flag. So 33.10 is a break of that flag. You can see it right there. Great call. And it went as high as, before the afternoon chaos, from 33.10 went to 33.92. You were in the green from that, from the moment of his call, for the next pretty much 4 or 5 hours. Another great call. Let's see here. Stephen B. On NAV. Stephen B calls NAV. Now remember, I had NAV on short watch, and it just goes to show, look at that sell-off at the open, just goes to show how brilliant I am for having that on short watch. I'm just kidding, because I didn't make a dime from it, but it looked like this before today. I said if it broke down below this area, it could head down. I actually was thinking when I made the call, when I found the chart last night, that this might make a run for the 200. I didn't think it would do it in one day. Which makes that a great short setup that I found, and a horrible execution. How could I have called it? You'd have had to just take it at the opening candle. It's easy to say now, right? Or you could have played this first hiccup, GBI, right? Green bar, buyers come in, and then you short below that. That would have worked. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I didn't take it. We didn't end up, because we knew it was near the 200 day. I believe that's why Stephen B was calling it long at 27.16. Which was right on this candle, so the stop's going to go below this candle because the previous candle actually had a higher low. So 27.16 entry, worst case stop 26.96, and that doesn't look like much, but from 27.16 it went all the way to 27.82. Great call by Stephen B. And I'm just going over my notes, guys. I know I'm not covering every call in these wrap-up videos, because when an all-star makes a call or I make a call, I try to write it down in my notes because we don't have the announcements feature. I do have a feature that I can search chat at the end of the day, but comparing my notes and the chat search, these are the ones I found. So anyway, what else was there? Along the lines of GameStop, Big's call was right about here. I also mentioned GameStop when it was right like this. I said green line, possible green line play at the 15.8. These are 5s, but if you switch to 15s, it was right there and turning. So what a bounce off the 15.8 on 5s. That's my green line, and look at that 5 setup there. I did put that in chat. I don't remember if I said it over the mic that GME's at the 15.8, but I did type that out too. But Big Ideas entry was much better. Other things that I posted was TMUS volume. I should have taken this, and I did, and I'm mad at myself. Saw this big volume spike, and I just didn't trust anything in the afternoon because the market was so weak. I thought, hey, maybe this is a fake out. Rax kind of did that. Rax had this volume spike, right? And then right back down, and then shortly after that, TMUS. So that's why I didn't have the nerve to take it after watching Rax. But it would have been a nice Tokyo right there. You know, it was still below the high of the day. I don't know why I didn't do it. Went up almost 50 cents from there. It will be on watch tomorrow, by the way. My afternoon call that cost me money was Yelp. I'll try to show you. Yelp was extremely strong yesterday. Then today, you know, gap down with everything else. Sells off, comes back up, puts in a lower high here. Okay. And then puts in yet another lower high, so you can kind of picture a trend line there. Sellers came in. My thinking was an RBI over this red bar. That's why I called it. I think I said 31.99. Let me 31.98, 31.80. So it's risking 18 cents, and we got the RBI, the red bar ignored. And I thought, hey, now we're going to start knocking down this catalyst, make a run at the high of the day, and if Yelp lights up the new highs, it's really going to go because of its strong daily chart. But that was it. That was all she wrote. In 5-10 minutes, I was back out, stopped out. So that was the one that cost me this afternoon. But overall, a really nice day. Some unbelievable calls by the All-Stars. Also in my notes, KMI, I typed out shape into the 200-day. If you look at the daily, the 200-day was around 36.70, and it was getting a shape change. I actually wrote down where I called it, 36.78. Oh, that's right. That's right. 36.78, 36.62. Trying to figure out where I called it. I think it was right here. Okay, you had the fives bounce, and then you had this big volume candle. So while this candle was forming, it was forming a secondary fives. It hadn't gone up to 81 yet. It was at 78 when I called it long with a low of day stop. So 78.62 doesn't look like a good call, but then it did bounce up. Never really quite got. I can't talk. Never really quite got going. But from 78, it did go to 94. So although this doesn't look very big from here to here, I put a little money in my pocket and I was back out. And then the market was just too tough on it for the rest of the day. I think that's all the calls from the day. It's all that I have in my notes. I'm sure there were others. But man, big ideas on GameStop, B-Turk on Finisar, Osmond K on Line, Stephen B on Nav. I just love the voice alerts, guys. I mean, it's really, really helping us all make money. Oh, late in the day, LBTYA too. Big ideas called a short. We had this crazy volume spike. Then he called a long, like over 70.12, and I got a real nice quick spike out of that, or scalp out of that. And then it was back. Then let me switch to twos here and show you how he called this short after that. On this spike, he was watching it battle the 200, 2-minute candle, 200 period moving average, and he said, if it can't get through here, could be a good short. Now, I don't know what the trigger and stop were, but look what happens. It doesn't get through. On that push down, after Big got on the mic and came up with the idea, any one of us could have shorted it on this candle with a stop above the 200, and it was a great short from him and just sold off the rest of the day. So just to give you, a rough estimate, maybe around, let me go back to twos. Even if you got it at the low of this candle, maybe around $70, it still went down to what? Over $1, 68.83, something like that. So really good idea by Big. You know, the bounce didn't hold, and so it became a short, right? Real smart thinking there. So anyway, you guys are on fire. I love having you in the chat. Hats off to the All-Stars. I am going to quit babbling, and we'll see everybody tomorrow.